Aloha, everybody. This is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap Let Light Unite show on UPRN Radio. And this is January 25th, 2019. Tonight, I'm really pretty happy that this damn strike is over. I don't know about you guys, but living in Hawaii, it really made a difference out here, and it really affected people. It's going to be a different show. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the shutdown and Fukushima. Make sure you remember what's going on there, and it will not make you happy. It feels like, at least for the shutdown, everything kind of eased up and the energy eased up after it opened up. I don't know, for me, I felt a big sigh of relief. I'm sure everybody else did. So I'm going to do the curse removal, energy balancing, because I'm sure everybody's kind of out of whack, and, get you all back in balance so you can move forward and be creative and do whatever you have to do. So to get back to the shutdown, now I live in Hawaii, and last week I did talk about the TSA because I did a couple food drives. Now we have two airports in Hawaii. One is in Kona, which is the major airport here. And that's the first one that I took food. And when I went through Kona, the airport, it was pretty empty. It looked like a ghost airport. And I was really blown away because we should be getting a lot of tourists in. Now this week, I actually, with the help of people from my town of Honoka'a, I put together another food drive for the federal and the TSA and the people at the airport in the Hilo airport. Now that was really fun to go down to there. I had a whole van full of food. And if you go to my Facebook page, I got the pictures up of how crammed my little car was with food, water, everything. I really scored. That and going to Costco with donations. It's amazing how much, little few donations can buy when you're able to go and buy wholesale at Costco. So anyway, you took everything down to the Hilo airport, to the TSA people. And again, there was even less people at this airport. There is nobody. Now, I know something's going on because I own a business in Honoka'a, and it's pretty down. I'm getting business through the grace of God. It's not because tourists are flooding our town. And when how busy the curbs are or should be at an airport, and there's not one single car there. Now, unless everybody's coming in at night, and I'm not seeing it. Now, this is like at 11 and 12, which it should be pretty busy at the airports. So I'm getting a little really, really concerned. And, this is before, this was Wednesday. And I decided, what? When I went to the airport, again, at the Kona side, and I talked really quickly to the TSA rep of their union. And I said, why aren't people protesting? And she said their union was thinking about it. They were going to do it nationally, and nothing ever happened. And I went, oh my God. Now I'm from Michigan, where unions, I grew up with unions. I'm a union girl. I'm 66. I lived during what is called the golden age of the unions. And that's, if you aren't my age or around, people that worked in factories, that means if you worked overtime, you got time and a half. If you worked on a holiday, you got anywhere from double time to triple time. And my dad was a tool and die maker in Cadillacs. These guys worked hard, and they also protested, and they went on strike a lot. And my father, I'm very proud to say, was on that strike line with the very first people that were actually pushing the unions forward and coming together in mass. And he was hit on the head and he had a brain aneurysm, and he actually ended up in the hospital for that. You know, of course, he recovered and he still worked at Cadillacs, but I really think that kept him out of World War II. So to me, you know, unions are an incredible group, a bargaining tool, because it's a lot of people coming together and uniting. We actually, you know, when I look back at my life, I would say we had an upper middle class life. Now I'm from Dearborn, Michigan, and that's right outside of Detroit, the hometown of Henry Ford. We lived in a very, very simple home, but we also had a summer home, or it was a hunting place for my dad in the Upper Peninsula, where I got to spend my summers. We had snowmobiles to play with. I mean, it just, we didn't lack for anything. We had a pretty good life. And my dad worked really, really hard to give us that life. So again, to me, I know how important unions are, and I know what it's like to go on strike and to have mom and dad sitting at the table playing cards with their friends that were also on strike, talking about, is it going to end? How long is it going to last? How long can they last through it? You know, I was a kid then, but they made it through. I don't remember lacking, but then my dad actually was a hunter and he was a fisherman. So we always had a refrigerator full of fresh meat in the freezer. Again, you know, when I look back, it's like, my God, I ate pretty well. It was all pretty much organic when I was growing up. My dad was a hunter, got the fish that he caught, you know, the deer he shot. And, you know, I don't care whether you're a vegan and you're going to get mad. You know, we hunted like the Indians. You hunt for food. And my dad never took more than he should, at least with deer. I won't tell you about the bear hides that we had in the house. Ooh, you can't be perfect now, can you? So now in my mind, all of a sudden, it's like, God, you know, this island needs help. People need help. This shutdown cannot go on. I'm going down to protest on Saturday. That's what I told myself. And this is Wednesday. I am doing it. I don't care if I'm the only one that's going to be there. I hope I'm not going to be the only one, but this is one big way that I can actually express myself. Okay, yeah, I'm on radio. Okay, it's another way I can express myself other than social media. But sometimes you got to put yourself out there for people to gain courage from it. Well, I'm not crazy, so I started calling some of the unions up and saying, hey guys, you know, what can we do? And I ended up talking to someone from the Teamsters. Go Teamsters, you guys rock. And this wonderful woman, Lisa, which I hope I'm going to have on my show in the future to talk about unions and what the Teamsters do. But what the Teamsters actually did is they did go to the airport in Honolulu and they did a protest. So this is how I understood what you can do and what you can't do at the airport. So you can have a silent protest and they tell you where you need to go. So it is possible. And, you know, that way it's done in a way where you're getting your message out and you are not interfering with any airplanes and people and traffic and stuff like that. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, who knows? Maybe in the future, you will have to protest. You might have to go back, you know, if they close the government again for Trump's stupid wall. We might and should, if we take to the streets much quicker, instead of being in shock, it would end. And now we know how to end it as we talk to the air traffic controllers and the stewardesses and say, you know, help us. You are the guys, I have to say, kudos to those air traffic controllers at LaGuardia who eventually closed the airport by refusing to show up for work this morning. That took balls. And within hours, Trump caved. And 38 years after Reagan fired the air traffic controllers for striking, I'd say they kind of evened the score. Now, if you don't know about history, I think it was 1988, the air traffic controllers went on strike. And when the strike was over, because it was an illegal strike, Reagan fired, I think out of 13,000, he fired 11,000 of those workers. And that's why the federal workers could not go on strike. It's in their contract. They would get fired. You know, what a catch-22. You know, you're not getting paid, yet if you quit, you get fired, but you're working for free, and it's just really asinine and reptilian. And actually, I looked at the shutdown as humans against reptilians. And if there's not a bigger reptilian out there than Trump and his family, I haven't seen it. And that's my best example of reptilians. So for me, going and getting food for the TSA, it was like humans helping humans. And you got to do that for people. You know, even if it's a couple cans of food, you know, help. We should be doing that anyway. So getting back to the airport and protesting, you can do a silent protest and they will tell you where to go. Because I have a friend already make signs, because I said I was going tomorrow to protest. And I'm thinking, well, you know, those signs will be there just in case, you know, Trump does really something stupid. But this time, I'm not going to wait 30 friggin' days to take action. We're going to take it to the streets, take it to the airports. You know, let our voices be heard. And when I was putting out that energy and, you know, asking people and going, hey, I'm going to be at the airport between 12 and 4 and blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God, all the negative shit that came at me. Oh, well, you shouldn't go. It's not legal. And I go, yes, it is, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's a bad idea. And I'm thinking, Jesus, Christmas cards. If you don't like what I do, great. Lead, follow, or get the hell out of my way. Because I'm going to do it. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to speak my mind this time in more ways than one. But again, if this shit ever happens, that Trump wants to shut the government down, and, you know, we're just going to start talking to the air traffic controllers and the stewardesses and say, you know, we need to stop this now. And it'll happen again. They'll stop it. You know, to my mind, you know, the people in Washington and both sides, yeah, it has to hurt them. I mean, they're all millionaires up there. Now, granted, the brand new junior senators and Congress people, they're not millionaires. They're normal people. You know, they've come from a different place. But those people that have been there for a while, who started with very little, end up being millionaires and billionaires. You just kind of wonder why. You know, can they remember what it's like to be poor? If they did, would they have more empathy? If they did, would they open up the government sooner? But until it hit them where it hurts, and it's flying, they all want to fly home. And that was like, oh my God, we better open up this now. This isn't cool. We can't fly home on the weekend, can we? We can't run away from the Capitol and go do absolutely frigging nothing other than maybe, you know, go out and beg for money. And you have to look at, you know, step back and, you know, to me, there was only one person that I actually know of that took her salary and gave it to the food banks in Hawaii, and that was Maisie Hirono. And I want to give her a heads up. You are awesome. You rock. You are for the people. And if you listen to anybody else in Congress and Senate and you go, what are you doing with your money? And they'll go, well, we're putting it toward bills. Oh, screw you guys. Talk about a different class of people. Oh my God. And if you think that, this didn't hit the poor people and spread out, well, Donald Trump says that following his cave on the government shutdown, federal workers will receive their back pay very quickly. Well, that's nice, but let's be clear that it will not undo the damage that it's been done to those workers. Back pay won't be enough for the people who sold their cars. They're either going to pay more to replace those cars or they're going to end up with worse cars. That's the thing about the used car market. How many people are going to lose their government housing because they're delaying those checks maybe till the end of next week? Hello, these people need the money now. Take it from the damn military. They got the budget. You can pay them back later, but hopefully not. Now, furloughed Forest Service employee Deborah Ann Rabosin told the New York Times she was spending $100 for a background check in hopes of getting work as a substitute teacher. She was spending that $100 when she was down to eating one meal a day. Back pay will not give her back that $100 she spent, and it will not retroactively feed her those meals or any of the meals those families have missed. And when I was at the Kona airport bringing food to the TSA workers, the union rep was telling me that they just hired a whole bunch of people from the mainland. Well, if you're from the mainland, you've got family and friends here to support you. And she was saying those people didn't know where they were going to get their next meal, and they were too damn proud to ask. And all I could think of is, woo, the food angels are here. And I know I made a few people happy. But back pay won't come with extra to cover any lingering health effects for the workers who skip their medication for themselves or their children because they couldn't afford it, or they cut down on their doses to stretch their medication because they couldn't afford it. Or what about the people that have died during the shutdown because of Trump's policies? Nobody's talking about them, are they? A lump sum at the end doesn't cover all the ways these workers lost out. They've worried and scrimped and cut corners and sold their friggin' belongings, and they'll end up behind. And those are the lucky ones who will get back pay, as contract workers don't. And those contract workers are the ones that feed you in the airport, that clean the airport. So don't lose sight of the damage Trump's shutdown has done. And we're going to find out more later on as we go how bad an effect that is. And all I can say, who benefits in the long run from it? Oh, let's just go ahead, and I'm going to make this really easy for you. All right, who said Putin? You win. Bing, 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 bing. And yeah, I believe that Trump is an asset of Putin. Woo, wow. You gotta admit, these are not dull times, huh? All right, let's talk about Fukushima. Oh my goodness. Now, yeah, it's amazing how God just kind of puts stuff in your face. So this is all about Fukushima, and it all came from the local press reports in Tokyo, and the Osaka news is actually a water news in Japan. And you're going to understand why I pulled these off from where they're and the dates they're at. All right, so this one says TEPCO execs will not be indicted over Fukushima radioactive water leaks. Woo-wee. Now that was in March 2016, 31. I never heard about it. I don't know about if any of you have. Now, the Fukushima District Public Prosecutor's Office said on March 29 that it had not found insufficient evidence to indict Tokyo Electric Power Company, also known as TEPCO, President Naomi Hirose, and 31 other current and former executives over leaks of radioactive water from Fukushima #1 power plant into the ocean. Whoa, I would bet everything I have somebody got paid off in Japan, or their life was threatened, or both. Okay, now we're going to hop to August 2017. Fukushima plant is releasing 770,000 tons of radioactive water. Keeping the 3-core meltdowns of the Fukushima nuclear plant cool has been an ongoing challenge that is yet to be met. As fresh water is pumped over the cores, it is then stored on site in massive tanks. Recently, TEPCO announced that it would dump 770,000 tons of radioactive tritium water into the Pacific Ocean. The announcement infuriated local fishermen and environmental groups across Japan. All it can do is infuriate them because their Prime Minister Abe has a gag order, so nobody can talk about Fukushima and what's going on out in the press. And when I was in Japan, it was like it was the farthest thing from people's mind because they really aren't supposed to talk about it. All right, so I just wanted to say again, that was saying Fukushima plant is releasing 770,000 tons of radioactive water. Now that was in 2017. And I'm sure, if you know people and if you really don't believe that they're awesome and good, they probably dumped more. What do you think? All right, now we're going to jump into April 30th, 2018. Fukushima officials continue to struggle with 1 million tons of radioactive water. Why? Because they are just too much ego to allow anybody else from anywhere to come in and help them. The tsunami-driven seawater that engulfed Japan's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant has long since receded, but plant officials are still struggling to cope with another dangerous flood. The enormous amounts of radioactive water the crippled facility generates each day, more than 1 million tons of radiation-laced water is already being kept on site in an ever-expanding forest of hundreds of hulking steel tanks. And so far, there's no plan to deal with them. I know, doesn't just give you warm fuzzies? All right, now we're going to jump to today, January 25th, 2019. Fukushima tank. One tank okay, one tank leaked 300 tons of radioactive water since 2016. Okay. I mean, doesn't that just boggle your mind? Fukushima tank leak, 300 tons of radioactive water since 2016. And they didn't catch this. Now, I had a water tank in my place in Hawaii. And when it leaked, we knew because there was no water. And when, 300 friggin' tons of radioactive water, I mean, that's a lot, don't you think? Nobody noticed that? For 3 years? So Tokyo Electric Power Company said it has determined that water containing radioactive substances leaked from a tank at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant for more than 2 years. Just say 3. The company says there is no impact on the environment. Oh my God. I mean, can you just say insane? Officials later found that the water level of a nearby tank had dropped since around November 2016. They say about 300 tons of water leaked from the tank. Okay. Now, I've said this once. I'm going to say it again. Actually, I've said this more than once. If there was ever a country on this planet that should not rule themselves, it's Japan. Just for what they're doing with radiating and nuking the whole world. And our governments are just as damn complicit because they keep their mouth shut. I mean, our own government has decided that it's okay for you to breathe a higher radiated level. It's okay because they say so. It's okay to put more radiation in the water. Why? Because they say so. They've stopped moderating the radiation, and they have moved their equipment from the West Coast, which is really getting nuked, all the way over to the middle of the country. And I hate to say it, but the middle of the country in the United States is really, really getting just as bad radiation as I'm sure anywhere in the world. Now, the city that is the most radiated in the United States is Colorado Springs. And the last time I did the radiation report, they were at 75 million rads, okay? Now, there are over 100 cities in the United States where their radiation level is over 14 million. Now, it's been said that anything over 20 rads is bad for you. And many of these cities are over 14 million. And of course, Washington's down there at the bottom, around 14 million. And you think, wow, compared to Colorado Springs, that's not bad because they're like, 75 million? I guess all those uranium mines just kind of amplify everything. But anything over 20 rads is bad. It's like coming to Hawaii and picking up the books that have all those really wealthy homes in it. They're 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, and you find one that's for 200,000 and you're going, wow, that's a deal. Well, it doesn't matter. You still couldn't afford a $50 house. So we are all being nuked by Fukushima, and if you live around a nuclear reactor, it's even bad. Now, I don't mean to be Debbie Downer tonight. It's just flowing, okay? And, it's not okay. You need to hear this. So you can take better precautions. You can take more vitamins, more minerals, more cleansing baths, more enemas. Woo! Yeah, it really excites people. But it's all necessary to stay healthy in these times. These are not normal times. And I've probably mentioned this before. I live on the big island of Hawaii, which just happens to have the big active volcano. And when it went off last year, I really realized what it meant when the volcano spit out all that stuff into the air. Now, I've been here for 14 years, and when I moved here on the island, and you would see this dark cloud go over by the Kona side, and you go to people, well, what's that? And they go, oh, that's just fog. Now, fog is what the term that they use for the volcano, for what the volcano, the chemicals it puts into the air. A lot of people, if you have allergies, and you breathe this, you can get pretty sick. And many people have got to move out because of it. But, at that time they move in there because everybody was so blasé. It's just like, fog, don't think about it, just fog. It's natural. And then after the volcano went off, and oh my God, my lungs filled up with fluid like never before. And it wasn't just because I occasionally smoke pot. I mean, shamans smoke. But it was getting really, really bad. At the night I would wake up and I would just start choking and I'd barely be able to breathe. Well, at that point, I thought it was a really great idea that I got a air purifier. And the minute I got it and I plugged it in, oh my God, my lungs cleared up, and they've been pretty clear ever since. So they've got them out there, air purifiers, and the one that I use, they say takes the electricity of like a light bulb. And since my landlord hasn't complained about electricity, I'm going to say that it doesn't use much electricity. And I also got one where I can actually take the filter out and clean the filter myself, so I wasn't always buying filters. And I got one for my house and one for the store because I want to breathe clean air. But there's an app that I was guided to called Windy, W-I-N-D-Y. It's www.windy. And it's a weather app. And it tells you your local weather. But real cool thing that I found is that it gives you the SO2 level. And it's the sulfur level that the volcano puts out and all the chemicals. And I am just blown away again. And I don't use that very often, being on an island with a volcano. It's always been like this. The island may not be spitting out stuff in the air and blowing its ash into the air, but it does release gases. And those gases go all over the island. Depending on where you live, depends on how bad it is. And I realize that it's always been like that, but I've not ever had a way to really pay attention to how bad it is. Now, another cool thing about this app, this Windy app, is that you can look at it and you can go all around the world and see how bad the SO2 level. Now, not only can volcanoes create this SO2, but fires can. And we've had some pretty major fires in California. So as I'm looking at how bad the air quality is because of the SO2 level, it's bad all the way around the world. Now, there might be little teeny tiny pockets in Africa that might have some clean air, and I don't know how they're doing it. But no matter where you live on the planet, you are not getting enough oxygen into your body. So what happens when you get too much SO2 level? It's like breathing the stuff from the volcano. Well, you can get really bad asthma. It can affect your lungs. You get really tired because you have no energy because you ain't breathing right? Now you're not getting oxygen to your brain. So you're not thinking right. Your memory is going to start going to shit and you're going to think, oh my God, I'm getting Alzheimer's. And you're not. It's depletion of oxygen to the brain. And many people just get angry. Now, here in Hawaii, we have 7, 8 islands. And the people on the other islands, they were getting the VOG, except they weren't realizing it. Because unless you're on the big island and it's basically in your face, you don't think about it. But how the VOG flows from the volcano, it'll blow southward usually, and it curves around the island. And then it literally spins and then it hits all the other islands. So, like I said, everybody is oxygen depleted and they were angry and upset. So, if you have to get a water purifier, well, okay, that too. Get a reverse osmosis water purifier. That's the only kind of water purifier that will actually take out radiation out of your water. And I am pleased to say that I sent one to each one of my kids, which is my gift because I want them to have clean water. So, the radiation is out there. And guys, what can I say other than be careful, do your cleanse, take more vitamins. And, later down the road, I'll do another show with radiation protection. So, enough of that. Let's do the curse removal energy balancing. And for those that are going to participate, I want you to sit down, put your feet flat on the floor, put your hands in your lap, and sit as straight as you can. Close your eyes, because you really don't need to look at me. And I want you to start taking some deep breaths. I want you to breathe in light and exhale out everything that no longer serves you. And imagine all that unwanted energy going through the violet flame back to God. And you start filling up with your divine essence. So keep doing that until I tell you to stop. So as you're doing that, I surround each one of you in a bubble of golden flame. I add to that the blue flame of protection, the violet flame of transmutation, the green flame of healing, and I seal you in the pink flame of love. And I call to all your teachers, guides, masters, and all the divine beings that work with you and invite them in to make this energy work as gentle, loving, and kind as we can. So take one more deep breath and exhale out everything that no longer serves you. And imagine all that energy going through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. Now I want you to imagine this incredible healing energy coming down from God, coming into the top of your head. And as it flows through your brain, I want you to allow every cell, atom, molecule of your brain reconnect to the Creator. And you become this awakened spiritual being filled with all these new possibilities. And now allow that divine energy to come out your third eye, which is in the middle of your forehead. Feel that energy drift down and allow it to come out of your throat chakra. And now we're going to go up a little bit and allow that divine energy to flow out of your third eye, which is in the middle of your forehead again. And now again, let it come out of your throat chakra. Now allow that divine energy to drift down even more and feel it come out of your heart chakra. Now feel that divine energy flow out of your solar plexus, which is right below your heart chakra. And feel that energy flow down even more now and allow it to come out of your belly button chakra. And now feel that energy drift down even more and feel it come out of your root chakra. Now allow that divine energy to flow all the way down your legs. Let it go out your feet and send it into the earth. Allow it to flow down your arms, out your hands, and feel it flow down your spine. So I want you to take one more gentle deep breath, and this time as you exhale, imagine any dark energy, anything left in your body that no longer serves you, is being gently released as you exhale, and then breathe normal. So as you're doing that, I called Michael the Archangel to come forth and cut all ties to any energy you've taken on that's not yours, whether it's from a friend, relative, acquaintance, stranger, anybody you work with, TV set, animal, whatever the karmic reason is that created anything out of balance in your life or your body today. And as all that unwanted energy is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. And now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to reptile, dinosaur energy, secret societies, organized religion, cut all ties to any oaths, vows, curses, hexes, rituals that could have been done to you or your family, going backwards and forwards, hundreds of thousands of generations, or anything you could have done, consciously or unconsciously. And as all that unwanted energy too is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. So now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to any effigies that have been misused against you, and that's any elemental of yours that was used to hurt you or anyone, including anything you own, clothes, hair, picture, your name spoken, written, just thought of, or anything you have your energy on, and as ties to all those elementals are cut. I call the violet flame around them to clean them up, the angel light energy to heal. We fill them up with love. I command them to be neutral or only emit love. And now I want Michael to come forth, remove any energy implant that could have been done to you or anything that could have been done to you over any other lifetime, past, present, future, or anything that's come from a curse, voodoo, witchcraft, just dark thoughts sent your way. So I want the stick, pen, needle, or knife that's in your crown chakra removed from your third eye, your throat, heart, solar plexus, belly button, root, feet, hands, spine, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, hips, teeth, anywhere in your body that's out of balance. And as you feel all those pins, needles, and knives being very gently removed, imagine all those spaces immediately fill up with the violet flame to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal it. We fill it up with love. We fill all that energy up with love. You send that unwanted energy back to God and just feel more of your divine essence flow into your body. Now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to patriarchy, genocide, rape, incest, slavery, prostitution, persecution, circumcision, removing any energy overlay that's trying to manipulate you, keeping you from connecting with God, healing yourself, being really successful, fulfilling all your divine missions and living your life in joy. And as all that unwanted energy is gently released, it's keeping all these wonderful things from coming to you. You send it all through the violet flame and right back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. So if there is anybody out there that's directing any kind of dark energy at you, whether it's through black magic, witchcraft, voodoo, Santa Maria, or just dark thoughts sent your way, we're going to ask them to stop, step forward in the light. And if they choose to continue, which is their free will, we ask their higher self and their guardian angels to put them in a position of harmlessness. We surround them in a bubble of mirror. The mirror faces them. It's 2 inches from their nose. And as long as they do that dark work, that energy stays contained in the bubble of mirror. And we put the violet flame in the bubble of mirror to transmute any off-balance energy they want to put out so they have no forward movement. Bubble of mirror stays up 24/7, 365 days a year until they do works of good. So I called your higher self, and I'm going to ask your higher self now to activate your divine blueprint for perfect health, and it starts manifesting in your body now. So allow all that energy to integrate in a very gentle, kind, loving way with your cells, your atoms, your molecules, all your internal organs, going all the way down into your DNA. And with every breath, feel more of that divine energy come pouring into your body, all the way down your legs, down your feet, your arms, out your hands, your spine. And anywhere in your body that you are out of balance and needs maybe a little extra energy, attention, just feel that, this divine light, this divine energy flow into that area. And see all those cells, atoms, and molecules being reactivated by your divine blueprint for perfect health. So allow all this energy again to integrate in a very gentle, kind, loving way with your cells, your atoms, your molecules, all your internal organs, going all the way down into your DNA. Now we're going to ground, and I want you to make sure you've got your feet flat on the floor. And I want you to feel the earth energy come up your feet. Feel it come up your ankles, your calves, your knees. And as the earth energy is sending energy up your body, feel yourself now starting to center. Pull back in body, become very, very clear-headed. And feel yourself grounding even more and more centering. Now, if you have the stone hematite, go get it. That's going to ground you even more. And I don't know where you live, but if you're, it's really nice to hug a tree. And if you're really, really high and you don't want to, if you can, go put your hands on a tree. If you still have excess energy after the show, send all that excess energy into the tree. 30 seconds, it's all you got to do. And then ask the tree to send you energy back, and you'll immediately ground. Oh my God, why am I releasing energy for everybody? It's like I drink beer, but I'm not drinking beer. Really. So if you can't do that, then you might want to eat a little bit. That's going to help pull you back in body and, calm you down. Take a nice bath. That might, relax you. And then go out and invest in some hematite. So I just want to talk with the little few minutes that we have left about the energy work we've been doing. Now, we've been doing a lot of energy work on Trump, hey? And what happened today? The man caved. The Republicans caved. Their magic is not doing very well. And, I want everyone, please start putting extra protection around Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Those guys on your side are trying to kill her because they figure if they kill her, if she dies, then they get to put another Trump Republican right-wing Supreme Court justice in. I don't know about you, but that doesn't work for me. And they've tried to kill her with energy. Now, I'm not sure if you remember about 3 months ago, she had an accident in her office. And I thought back then, I don't know, I don't believe in accidents, not after the right wing, is trying to pull all the stops and do, everything they can do to keep in power and gain more power. And then she went in, about a month later for her throat. And then Fox News, I wouldn't have thought anything about this, but this was the day after the full moon. They put out her obituary. Now, who in the hell planned that? Y'all thought that your black magic was so awesome that she would be dead because you did magic work on the full moon? So you put her obituary out? My, what an awkward moment for you, huh? Good Lord. I mean, that's a giveaway, at least for me. So, put a little light around Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because she needs to, stay healthy and be there, because she's on our side. So Trump and his family world is starting to crumble. Keep giving energy to Mueller so he gets this done and taken care of. Because you do realize that if Trump goes down, Pence will go down, and that means Nancy Pelosi will be president. And truthfully, after I've seen how incredibly well she's composed herself and how she rules, I wouldn't mind her being president right now. We're talking huge upgrade. And you got to give the hats off to her. She did end it. And, thank you everyone for calling and making calls and actually going out there and helping these people. All the federal workers that needed help. And they still will for a little while. And they may again in another 3 weeks. I don't know. So, if you got them, don't quite put those protest signs away, because you might need them later on. If you go to my Facebook page, I'll show you what my artwork my girlfriend did that I'm going to keep in case I need it, because I will definitely be out there. I'm not going to wait. And you guys, don't go into shock. Trump's been putting us into shock and trauma. Get out there and protest. Make yourself go. Part of magic is you don't feel like doing it. It's not important. You don't have the energy. You just go, yeah, I'd really like to, but I just can't. I'll do it again another time. Well, that can be magic, keeping you from doing something you really should be doing. So just keep that in mind. Keep doing the energy work. Keep calling down that divine enlightenment. It's really working. And like I said, the world of Trump is really starting to crumble. The Republicans are showing cracks, and all the energy work we've done with the Democrats to make them solid and come together as one unit. Well, hello, they've done that. And have you noticed the role reversal? Now that the Republicans are not in power, they're crumbling, which they should, because they've been pretty shitty throughout this shutdown. But it's nice to see, it's nice to see some of those Democrats stand up and have balls and tell it like it is. Let's hope they can continue. Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, it's been an exciting week for me. And, if anybody out there wants curse removal or needs a soul retrieval, you can go on my YouTube channel, Cathy Bilsky. It's also on UPRN Radio. And do it. It's helping you take back all your energy you've given away or people have taken from you from all your incarnations. I do a major curse removal and remove your mother's overlay and your father's overlay. It takes an hour. But on my YouTube channel, if you put in Cathy Bilsky curse removal, you'll see I have a double curse removal there, double soul retrieval that you can do. And then, I do have a single curse removal on there. You could do the same thing if you need a spiritual pick-me-up. Or you can call me at my store at 808-775-9400 from 11 to 4 Hawaiian time. And we're 5 hours behind Eastern time right now. I have an answering machine. I call back. I do a lot of energy work over the phone or by Skype. I also have a rock shop. I have some incredible angel light healing tools. That's pain and stress release. And in 28 years, I'm the only one who makes them. And I don't know, ex-husbands don't count, do they? Nope, didn't think so. I like to think I have a God patent on my angel light tools, and they glow in the dark, and it's really incredible. Just go check out my website, www.angeliteomm.com. That's angeliteomm.com. And I also have the curse removal on there, and you can also download one of my books for free, the Book of Spiritual Basics, and then I have an advanced book that will cost you a whopping $6. And if you like what I do, I also have a donation page. I'm still on the humility program, guys. What can I say? Although God treats me well. Well, that's it for me tonight, and I hope you all have a really more peaceful week than we have in the past 4 or 5 weeks. You know, keep doing nice things for people. Keep paying that forward. You know, if you see somebody in need, do something nice. And you know, those contractors out there, they're not getting paid. They are the ones that are at the bottom rung, and they have lost big time. Millionaires, they've lost nothing. It's the poor people that have lost during this shutdown. Keep doing your energy work. Keep doing your prayers. They are making a difference. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and I hope to see you next week, same time. UPRN Radio. This is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap Let Light Unite show. And on that, I bid you aloha.